And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and Coffee Stream episode 388. And we are back to a Friday. I hope everyone's having a good day and is ready for the weekend. We've got a lot of news today that's space related. Space news and Canadian news is what we have today. And Functional has found me the clip of the Polyev clip that we tried to play on Wednesday, and so I have that clip on YouTube that we're going to watch, and I've got some news to read. So let's get into this, shall we? Welcome, Selecta Boy. I hope you're having a great day, and welcome to everyone else who may be joining us at this moment. I was just talking to Pincalo about how frustrating it is that all the only comments I get on Instagram are from, DM us to promote your account, and of course they want money to promote your account. Like, these people don't actually want you to grow. They don't want genuine interaction. They just want your money. That's all they want. They just want your money. And they don't care if you promote yours or get promoted. They don't care if you grow. They don't care if you get the following base that you want. And that's all. It's just a money grab. It's a big scam. So yeah, that's my take on the whole thing. So let's open the stream with a story about the Mortal Kombat movie, because we all know how much I love Mortal Kombat. And we'll take a look. The writer of this article got to see the first 13 minutes of the movie, and they are writing about it. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at this article here. All right. And then we'll go right into the Polyev clip. Silly thing. It's not letting me share properly. Okay. Let's try this again. Likewise. Oh, thank you, Selecta Boy. There we go. Okay. So, this title says, where are we? This headline says, Mortal Kombat's opening scene is bloody and bone-crunching, and fans will love it. So let's take a look here. And there's an ad, so we're not going to play the video that's accompanying this article, because I don't want to. Okay. Let's turn up the volume a little bit on the computer and bring the mic closer to the speaker.
Loading button. Loading button.
That's a bit too loud. There we go.
0 play button. Unmute button. Volume and up. Loading ad. Full screen button. You are currently on a button. And up. Video. If your strongest memory regarding the beloved video game Mortal Kombat involves you dropping a quarter into an arcade game so you could punch and kick the living daylights out of an anonymous opponent, then you might not realize that the Link, staring their enemies down. If your strongest memory regarding the beloved video game Mortal Kombat involves you dropping a quarter into an arcade game so you could punch and kick the living daylights out of an anonymous opponent, then you might not realize that the Mortal Kombat property boasts a deep and rich expanded mythology. Yes, on a basic level, the game involves characters such as Liu Kang, Sonya Blade and Sub-Zero. Link, staring their enemies down, in hand-to-hand, face-to-face combat. But over 30 years and almost a dozen different games, the mythology of Mortal Kombat has, Link, expanded.
It definitely
Chrome has
has expanded. It's a huge mythology. There's so many characters and so many stories, and like I need to go back and rewatch some of the lore even to get it straight.
and the opening scene from the upcoming movie dives headfirst into that fascinating realm. Third-party ad content group. We were able to see the opening 13 minutes of director Simon McQuoid's Mortal Kombat, and I can confirm that it was Link, a gunzo spectacle of martial arts
Nice.
and mythology that plunges us immediately into the realms of the central Mortal Kombat story with the origins of several integral characters. If there's a key rivalry in Link, the entire mythology of Mortal Kombat. It exists between Bihan, Joe Taslim, and Hanzo Hasashi, Hiroyuki Sanada, warriors who would evolve to become Sub-Zero and Scorpion, respectively. These opening minutes establish Hasashi as a man living a peaceful life with his family in a quiet nature reserve, though the presence of guards around the property's perimeter suggests that Hasashi has seen some shit, and expects it to come back to his doorstep someday soon. Well, it does. Bihan appears and begins eliminating Hanzo's soldiers, making a beeline towards his enemy's home and his family, who are in hiding. Hanzo responds, creating his recognizable Kune weapon out of a nearby garden trowel and a lengthy rope, but he is unable to prevent Bihan from, Link, slaughtering his clan. Chrome has
Which is interesting. I hope this doesn't give too much spoilers, because... Yeah. I hope it does. Spoiler alert.
In extremely bloody fashion. Hanzo Hasashi in Mortal Kombat image. Opt-in widget. Frame. Mortal Kombat. With this loss and defeat powering him to travel to the Netherium and assume the demonic powers of the Spectre Scorpion, this isn't shown in the opening sequence. Chrome has new with Link, though it's hinted at. And we know Scorpion shows up later because he's all over the Red Band trailer that I'm including below. When Cinema Blend spoke with Mortal Kombat producer Todd Garner about this footage and the decision to open the upcoming movie with this pivotal sequence, he explained. Our goal was, how do you just be able to have somebody come in, sit down in the theater, and watch this movie and not be completely confused by the unbelievable lore that Ed, Boon, and John Tobias have created over 30 years, and that is such an integral part, emotionally, to the Mortal Kombat lore. It's about
That's
family.
true.
It's about clan.
Yeah.
It's about misunderstanding. It's about two cultures clashing. It's about, there's a little twist in it in terms of the prophecy in this one, and so by bringing people into that world, within 13 minutes you have romance, you have death, you have tragedy, you have ice, you have a guy getting his head stabbed with a sword, you have all of this stuff, and then, someone is taken to hell. So it sets up the spectacle, it sets up the emotion, it sets up the characters, it sets up the tone, it sets up fighting, and it sets up fatalities, all in one scene. Block.
Well, there you go.
You are currently on.
There you go. If you must set up everything like that, that's probably the best way to do it.
Want to get a taste of Link, where it all goes. From there, rewatch the Red Band trailer for Link, Bloody Fatalities, : video player.
And we've watched the trailer here, so yeah. We already watched the trailer on the stream, actually, so we don't need to do that. So that's the opening scene. I may give it a chance. I may watch the movie. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I have not decided yet. But I would, part of me wants to watch it. I think that would be interesting. So let's get into the Canadian news with the clip that Functional found for us of Mr. Polyev and the Kielburger brothers that was supposed to be the Twitter video. So let's... Oh, it started. I'm going to have to... It started, so I'm going to have to pause it. It's a 7-minute exchange. Holy shit. Okay, let's take a look here. We're going to be pausing it a bit, I think. Okay. Back to the beginning you go. So this is Mr. Polyev versus the Kielburger brothers. And of course, the Kielburger brothers sound like they have their heads in a tin can. Alright, let's see here. Why am I not seeing everybody's chats? Oh, I'm on top chat. That's why.
Dismiss. Live chat. Button.
There we go.
12:05 p.m. Welcome to live chat. 12:19 p.m. 13 now.
Okay. So, here we go. Let's get the screen shared and we will take a look at this video clip. We were talking about this on Wednesday and we did see a bit of the exchange between these two. So we're gonna watch the clip that we tried to watch on Wednesday. Okay. Yes, please share screen. Okay. Share audio, and there we go. Okay. I've just realized I have left my coffee upstairs. Boo! Boo on me! Okay. Come on. Don't tell me you're busy. You don't have time to be busy right now. We're streaming. Okay, here we go. This is from CTV News. Here we go. Here we go. Hashtag CanPoly, of course, is the hashtag. Why are you not working? It's like it doesn't want me to play this fucking video. Okay, here we go. Now it's working. Okay, play button. Here we go.
Have you been contacted by the RCMP?
We've previously spoken on this matter. You can keep asking as often as you like.
Have either of you been contacted by the RCMP?
We've previously spoken on this question.
No, you haven't. You said you haven't been contacted about Mr. Angus's letter. Have you been contacted by the RCMP for any other purpose? Yes or no?
Two of us have not been contacted by the RCMP.
Period?
We have not been contacted by the RCMP. We understand Mr. Angus has put a letter in the public domain.
Have you been contacted by the Office of the Ethics Commissioner?
Yes.
And has he or any of his staff questioned you?
Yes, that's confidential. Yes.
What is he saying? What is he saying? He just got told something. What did he just get told?
By statute, apparently we are not allowed, by the statute of the government. I have no problems answering this question, but by statute of the government, apparently we're not allowed to answer your question.
Which section?
By statute of the government, we're not allowed to answer this question. Oh my god, by statute of the government.
I should.
Again, this is a former Assistant Deputy Minister of Justice.
And he should know.
Let's see. Well, it's the express request.
No, I'm not asking him to speak. Sorry.
So, yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, I am not aware of what statute is the statute that you're asking for specifically, but on an Assistant Deputy Minister of Justice's comments, I trust his comments be accurate.
All right, so we'll just assume you're hiding that.
Oh my god, I love this man. This is amazing. This is fucking amazing.
Next, question is, have you been contacted by any member of the Lobbying Commissioner's office?
Mr. Polyev, you're not even officially a member of this committee, and you're answering your own questions, so feel free to answer your own questions.
The question was, can you...
Wow, what a fucking little shitbag. This is the entitlement. This is, like, listen to the slime in his voice and the entitlement. Just the entitlement. This is, wow, Mr. Polyev, you're not even a part of this committee. Well, actually, kind of is.
Tell me if anyone in the lobbying commissioner's office has been in contact with you, yes or no?
We have proactively reached out to the lobbying commissioner to provide disclosures and information. And of course, as part of that, there's always an exchange back and forth.
Had they questioned you?
We have not been questioned.
Are you under investigation by the lobbying commissioner?
Not to our knowledge.
Have you been contacted by the Commissioner of Canada Elections for any reason?
Not that we're aware of.
What is the total dollar value of all of the fees and expenses, both cash and in kind, that you have paid to you or any of your organizations have paid to members of the Trudeau family?
So Margaret Trudeau was $180,000 she received for a total of 28 events. Alexander Trudeau was $36,000 she received for a total of 8 events. Sophie Trudeau was $1,500 for an event prior to her husband becoming the Prime Minister, and all that has been previously provided to you, sir, in the Phoenix Committee.
What is the total dollar value of all the fees and expenses you've paid to the Trudeau family? The total, please.
$17,500.
Wait.
To the...
Wait. $17,500 he just said. After he outlined Margaret Trudeau getting 68, what was it, 68 that or something like, he just outlined a total of over $180,000 is what Margaret Trudeau got. Justin the Weasel Trudeau, right? But he just gave a number of 180,000 for one member of the family, and now it's 17,500.
By Trudeau family, I mean his brother, his mother, his spouse, himself.
Oh, those are the fees. If you're asking expenses, I need a calculator for a minute. If 1 second.
You can come back to it, but you will be if you're going to give this number on the record and into you're going to testify it into the record under oath, because I want the total. I want nothing left out, and I want you to tell us what the total value is that you have paid to Mr. Trudeau, his wife, his brother, and his mother. The total of everything.
He sounds like a fucking dad, like a father who is just like, I'm sick of this. I want to know the answer. Just tell me the answer. Like, he sounds like Pink Hollow and I do when we're talking to our kids. This is sad.
Indeed. So we previously gave this to you 9 months ago. It's also on our website.
I'm asking you to put it into the record.
It's on our website. It's on our website.
Or you're going to be brought back to do it.
Thank you very much, everyone. Your time's up, Mr. Polyev. And
point of order. Point of order. Actually, Madam Vice Chair, you're quite wrong. And because you were in the chair, we decided to run the timer. And I still have a minute and 25 seconds left. So.
Oh, god damn, Mr. Polyev. That's because you were in the chair, we've decided to run the timer.
I'm
nice
sorry,
try, but I'll keep going.
No,
nice
Mr.
try.
Polyev, I am being directed by the clerk.
Nice try.
And
I have the clock right here. I have the clock right here.
Please mute Mr.
The clerk has
Polyev.
the clerk has just confirmed to me that I do have more than a minute left. She's just said it herself.
All right, then I stand corrected.
Well,
thank you.
Jesus Christ. Why do you guys keep doing this? It is so fucking obvious. Listen, you better tell me what I want to know where you're grounded. Exactly. Good on you, Polyev. Right? Oh. He might as well have said, fuck you, bitch. Right, Duck Dog? Come on.
Very much.
Very strange that
we do follow. No, I'm sorry. I'm taking the direction from the clerk as far as the time. Thank you for your understanding. Please go ahead, Mr. Polyev. 1 more minute.
Total dollar value that you've paid Mr. Trudeau, his wife, his brother, and his mother.
Well, that I can give you. That's what I said. It was $217,500.
No, the dollar value, including expenses.
We never
fees.
gave expenses to them. We paid those expenses directly, of course.
Right, for
We
them.
give that. We paid like the hotel bill when they stayed or the flights.
That's right.
Yes,
That's right.
include those.
Expenses would have been over roughly, oh my gosh, sorry, we're doing this for you. 36.
It's so much money, you can't even keep track of it all.
There's 42 events. It was a total of $209,000, 620 plus 16 cents for the expenses for the individuals, which works out to roughly.
Rappel au règlement, Madame
They're scared of him.
Après, mais maintenant,
Point of order, Madam Chair. I think the chair has returned and is now accessible and available. So I think we're dealing with a point of order currently, Mr. Chairman, and the time is expired.
Not, and I want a point of order, Mr. Chair. Point of order, Mr. Chair.
This is great.
Yes, point of order, recognizing point of order, Mr.
On
Polly.
two separate occasions, the Liberal Vice Chair has tried to interrupt my testimony by falsely claiming that I was out of time, even though I kept time and I can show definitively that my time has not expired. So I've asked that I be granted the opportunity to get an answer to a very simple and straightforward question that the Kielburger brothers seem to have a lot of difficulty answering, which is the total value of all the cash and in-kind benefits that have been paid in the fees or expenses for the Trudeau family, including Mr. Trudeau, his wife, his mother, and his brother. Simple question. I've been trying to get an answer for 2 minutes, but regularly interrupted by the vice chair.
Okay, we'll allow for an answer, and then your time is up, Mr. Polyev, and we'll move to the next question. We'll give.
This is just so blatant, so obvious. Oh, where's Dad in this? Back of the napkin math. That's $500,000. Yep. This is hilarious. It is hilarious. This is hilarious.
Some time for the answer.
So again, we've never, of course, paid any expenses or honorariums to Mr. Trudeau, but to Margaret Trudeau, Alexander Trudeau, and Sophie Trudeau over the past 10 plus years of various speaking
Just the
events.
total, please. Get to
Yes,
it.
it's trying to do the quickest math that I can here. Adding it together is roughly $216,000 in honorariums, and roughly $209,000 in expenses. And then you could, which of course was not paid to them. That goes, we just pay it directly to a hotel or a flight. And if you add that together, it's a little over $400,000 that would have been all the expenses over the past decade.
A little over 216,000 and 209,000. That's $225,000. That's not a little over $200,000 or $400,000. That's $425,000. That's not a little over, Mr. Kielburger. 25,000 is not a little bit. I know, like, for you up in your ivory tower, it's a little bit, but to the rest of us plebs and peasants, $25,000 is not a little bit over 400,000. A little bit over 400,000 would be like 402,000. I'll even go up to 405,000. But 425,000 is not a little bit over 400,000.
42 different events that they attended and spoke on the stage.
Thank you, Mr. Polyev.
That was ridiculous. Holy shit. Oh my god. Just, oh my god. I just, wow. Pinkalo, I think if you're in chat, I think you should go over that whole committee hearing. Oh, wow. That's just... And the vice chair blatantly trying to interrupt and not let an answer be given. How can citizens not see this? How can citizens watch stuff like this and then still say that the Conservatives are bad, or Polyev is a bad guy. It's like, what? It's blatant. And it's political. And the fact that nobody sees this is really kind of scary. Oh, wait, no, I was doing more Canadian news before I did the space stuff. Silly me. Because I've got some Canadian news. I've got some an article about gun control and an article about the Conservatives. So let's take a look at this, and then we'll go to the news stuff. That vice chair was out of order. She was. Absolutely. Absolutely out of order. And it was all because he's a Conservative member, a member of the Conservative Party. That's all it is. Okay, come on. Really, Chrome? Really? Really, Chrome? You're gonna do this to me? Okay, let's try this again. The establishment politicians are garbage. They are garbage. Dang it, late. That's okay. Better late than never. Okay, Chrome, let's go. Okay, apparently it doesn't want me to read this article. So we'll not read the gun control article, and we'll just move on to something else. Because the gun control article is being stupid. So where is that Conservatives article? There it is. Okay. Are you going to load properly, article? Yes, it is. Okay. That was annoying. I hate when articles don't load properly. Blame Susan. Yes. Blame Susan. She didn't notify you. It's all Susan's fault. Okay. So, here we go. Okay, so if he's ever going to win, Aaron O'Toole needs to start broadening the Conservative tent. Absolutely. Absolutely he does. He needs to appeal to younger people. He needs to appeal to frustrated people. And he's just not doing that right now, unfortunately.
If the Conservatives want to win the next election, they'll need a broader coalition of voters behind them. But building that coalition has turned out to be a challenge. Polls suggest the party has not been successful in broadening its appeal beyond its core supporters.
Because he doesn't let people like Polyev have more of a public role. Like, I think it's brilliant that Polyev is putting stuff up like this on YouTube. There needs to be other Conservatives doing this. Hey, Costin. But there needs to be more, there needs to be more conservatives appealing to younger people on social media, and bringing the issues to younger adults in social media, and not just thinking that the young adults don't want to hear about this stuff, because a lot of them do. And you'd be surprised at how many people in their early 30s, late 20s are looking at what's going on and going, this is fucking stupid. And the conservatives need to appeal to that. And they're not, unfortunately. Let's see.
If an election were held today, the Conservatives under Erin O'Toole would find themselves back where they started some 17 years ago.
Yep.
Link. According to the Canada Poll Tracker, Chrome has an aggregation of all public opinion data. The Conservatives would capture just under 30% of the vote and little more than 100 seats, a result similar to the Conservatives' first election in 2004, after the merger of the Progressive Conservatives and Canadian Alliance.
Yep.
That conservative bedrock of around 30% of the electorate has been reliable. Since the party's first election win under Stephen Harper in 2006, there have been only 2 occasions when the party, with a permanent leader in place, has dipped under 30% in most national polls. In the wake of the Mike Duffy scandal in 2013 and in the early part of the 2015 election campaign.
Yeah.
Lately, however, the O'Toole Conservatives have found themselves hovering around the 30% mark, with some polls putting them under it and some above it.
Yeah, O'Toole is kind of just treading water at this point, and he's not doing, like, if we had somebody like Polyev in position of power, in position of leadership, I think that the Conservative Party would poll higher than 30%. I really do.
List 1 item. Bullet link. End of the list. While a further slide might not be likely, the party's prospects for growth look limited.
Yeah.
According to a link survey by the Angus Reid Institute, only 10% of Canadians rank the Conservative Party as their second choice. The NDP, Liberals, Greens and other parties all gather more second choice support. In no demographic cohort, of age, education or income, do the Conservatives score better than 13% as a second choice.
Damn. That's bad. That's bad. And O'Toole is unfortunately too weak-minded and too weak of a speaker to drive any motivation, to drive any inspiration to follow the Conservatives. Like, if you listen to the way he speaks, he's very soft. He's very soft.
That gives the Conservatives few places to look for more supporters, even though their base isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
According to the ARI survey, 41% of Conservative voters have no second preference, while 25% would choose one of the smaller fringe parties, such as the People's Party or Maverick Party.
Yeah, that's not a surprise. At all.
List 1 item. Bulk link and list 1 item. Bulk end of that contrasts sharply with how supporters of the Liberals, NDP and Green Party feel about their options. Half of Liberal voters choose the NDP as their second choice, while 3/4 of NDP voters would back either the Liberals 43% or the Greens 30% as their next best option. Among Green voters, the NDP wins 43% support as a second choice.
That's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. That means that Canadians are not paying attention. I'm not a fan of any of the political parties, says Costin. Yeah, right now, there's not really any good choice.
Heading level 2. Little margin for error. This suggests the other national parties have more room to maneuver than the Conservatives. Only a very small minority of Liberal or NDP voters would consider voting Conservative. Link. Abacus data has found that 45% of the electorate are accessible voters for the Conservatives, compared to 54% for the Liberals. That does give the Conservatives something to work with, but it doesn't give them much margin for error.
Nope. They need a new leader. They really do.
If 35% is the minimum bar for the Conservative to win at least a minority government, that means they need a conversion rate of about 78%. They need to turn nearly 4 out of every 5 accessible voters into actual supporters.
That's almost a losing battle. you're not going to get that much of a swing in Canadian politics. Hello, TOS.
The Liberals, by comparison, need a conversion rate of just 65%. They can even get away with a lower rate, as they demonstrated in 2019 by winning an election with just 33% of the popular vote.
Yeah.
Heading level 2. Bloc supporters offer room for growth, but at what cost? If there is one chunk of the electorate that looks promising for the Conservatives, it's nationalist voters in Quebec.
Yeah.
The Angus Reid Institute found that 30% of Bloc Québécois voters rank the Conservatives as their second choice, followed by 25% who say they have no second choice. This suggests that the preference of a majority of Bloc voters would be either to stay home or to support the Conservatives if the Bloc turns them off on the campaign trail. O'Toole's poll numbers among Bloc supporters aren't bad, with 31% having a favorable opinion of him, compared to 43% who don't. That rating is more than 3 times higher than O'Toole's rating among Liberal and New Democrat supporters.
O'Toole's rating is he's just not a good leader. He's too wishy-washy. Unfortunately. It's very unfortunate that the Conservatives keep picking soft leaders, and the people who should be in leadership positions are not.
Bloc Québécois leader Yves-François Blanchet, the Conservatives could woo Quebec nationalist Bloc supporters, but such a strategy would come with risks. Sean Kilpatrick's left. If the Conservatives want to win the next election, they'll need a broader coalition of voters behind them.
Yep.
But building that coalition has turned
And that's the end of the article. So now we're going to move on to space news. Space news. Okay. Let's go to the giant moon rocket. Then we're going to start our space news off with the giant moon rocket. Okay. Okay. All right, here we are. Successful test for NASA's giant moon rocket. Is that the official name? The giant moon rocket, is that its official name?
NASA successfully carried out a key static test of its troubled Space Launch System rocket on Thursday, a win for the agency as it prepares to return to the moon. Third party at the second hot fire test saw all 4 of the rocket's RS-25 engines fire simultaneously at 4:40 p.m. Eastern Time, 2040 Greenwich Mean Time, for the full duration of 8 minutes, producing a maximum of 1.6 million pounds of thrust, 7.1 million newtons.
Well then. That's a good amount of thrust.
The applause says a lot about how the team feels, Bill Roble, an official in charge of the test, said during a live stream after the control room began clapping. Looks pretty good right now, he added. This is a major milestone towards advancing our goals objectives for Artemis. Acting NASA Administrator Steve Yurchik later told reporters, referring to the lunar program.
Oh, right. Artemis is the lunar program.
NASA plans to place the first woman on the moon by 2024 and build a lunar orbital station, before eventually embarking on a crewed mission to Mars. You are currently on a text.
Yes, the first woman on the moon. Yeah, because we've gotta mark those milestones. Now and I don't mind putting a woman on the moon. Here's the thing, right? When I say that, people are gonna be, oh, what? She doesn't want a woman on the moon. No, I don't care. It shouldn't matter what the genitals of the astronaut is on the moon. The problem with everyone going, the problem with everyone going, oh, we need a woman on the moon, we need a woman on the moon, is because everyone's going the first manned the first man on the moon. They didn't mean the first person with a penis, okay, to be on the moon. They meant mankind, you dumb motherfuckers. They meant the first of mankind to walk on the moon. Did he happen to have a dick? Yes. Does it matter? No. They meant mankind. They meant the human race. They didn't mean, look, men, we have another one up on women. Ha 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 ha. This is my problem with today's feminism. It's everyone's obsessed with putting a woman somewhere, right? Instead of just picking someone who's good for the job. If they happen to pick a kick-ass woman astronaut who goes up to the moon and does an amazing job, awesome, right? If they happen to pick a kick-ass male astronaut to go back to the moon and he does a kick-ass job, awesome. Humans still made it back to the moon. Does it matter what genitals they have? Apparently it does.
The test success came as a relief to the agency after an earlier run involving the 212-foot, 65-meter, high core stage at the Stennis Space Center near Bay St. Louis, Mississippi was cut short in January.
That's a big rocket.
We've had some challenges, said Tom Whitmire, NASA's Deputy Associate Administrator of Exploration System Development. I'm just so proud of the team with the way they've methodically worked through these challenges.
Well, they have to methodically work through the challenges. It's a space launch. But good for that. Like, I'm glad that the test is successful. That's all. Like, it's a successful test is great.
Thursday's test was required to collect data on how the core stage behaves during critical operations like throttling engines up and down and moving them in a variety of patterns. The rocket's tanks were filled with 700,000 gallons, 2.6 million liters, of liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen, which when burned sent a huge plume of water vapor soaring into the sky.
I
currently
bet.
On text element. Engineers will analyze the data and decide whether the stage is ready to be refurbished and transported by barge to the Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
Very cool.
There, it will be assembled with the other parts of the SLS rocket and the Orion crew capsule, which are being prepared for the Artemis I launch later this year, an uncrewed mission.
Okay, so first it's going to be an uncrewed mission, and then it will be
the SLS
a
program
mission.
has been beset by delays and cost overruns, and was initially due to be operational in 2016.
Oh wow, this is 5 years late.
Ars Technica reported this week NASA was conducting an internal review of its affordability. NASA said last August the baseline development cost was $9.1 billion and the initial ground systems capability required $2.4 billion. You are currently...
So, initial startup, $9 billion, and then continuous $2 billion.
It has also been criticized as a jobs program for NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center in Alabama, as well as for its key contractors Boeing, Aerojet Rocketdyne, and Northrop Grumman. While SLS is far more powerful than SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket used to put satellites in orbit and take crews to the ISS, Elon Musk's company is also working on a prototype rocket called Starship that will be capable of deep space exploration.
Huh. Interesting. So it's a space race between NASA and SpaceX.
Starship's last 3 test flights have ended in stunning explosions, but analysts believe the mishaps could paradoxically be accelerating the spaceship's development, eventually making it a viable alternative to SLS.
That's funny. That's spectacular explosions, huh? One of the new lunar astronauts was a SEAL and has a degree in advanced mathematics and is a physician. There you go. Hey! It's trucking with a tablet. Hello.
Horizontal split. Explore further.
So that's that first space article that we've got. Next article is about Jupiter. Jupiter. All right. So we seem to have started measuring the stratospheric winds of Jupiter. And that's what this article is about. So I thought that would be interesting to take a read for. Okay. Meteorological beast in our solar system. Powerful stratospheric winds measured on Jupiter for the first time. Very cool. So let's take a listen here. Here we go.
Stratospheric winds near Jupiter's south pole image.
So this is a picture.
Using the Atacama Large Millimeter/Submillimeter Array ALMA-IN, which the European Southern Observatory SO is a partner, a team of astronomers have directly measured winds in Jupiter's middle atmosphere for the first time. By analyzing the aftermath of a comet collision from the 1990s, the researchers have revealed incredibly powerful winds, with speeds of up to 1,450 kilometers an hour. Near Jupiter's poles, they could represent what the team have described as a unique meteorological beast in our solar system.
So they're analyzing the crash of Shoemaker-Levy 9.
Link image.
I'm guessing.
This image, taken with the MPG/SO 2.2 meter telescope and the IRIC instrument, shows comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 impacting Jupiter in July 1994. Credit S. Jupiter is famous for its distinctive red and white bands, swirling clouds of moving gas that astronomers traditionally use to track winds in Jupiter's lower atmosphere. Astronomers have also seen, near Jupiter's poles, the vivid glows known as aurorae, which appear to be associated with strong winds in the planet's upper atmosphere. But until now, researchers have never been able to directly measure wind patterns in between these two atmospheric layers in the stratosphere.
Okay.
Link image. These two photos from the SO measuring wind speeds in Jupiter's stratosphere using cloud tracking techniques is impossible because of the absence of clouds in this part of the atmosphere. However, astronomers were provided with an alternative measuring aid in the form of comet Shoemaker-Levy 9, which collided with the gas giant in spectacular fashion in 1994. This impact produced new molecules in Jupiter's stratosphere, where they have been moving with the winds ever since.
Oh, very cool.
A team of astronomers, led by Thibaut Cavalier of the Laboratoire d'Astrophysique de Bordeaux in France, have now tracked one of these molecules, hydrogen cyanide, to directly measure stratospheric jets on Jupiter. Scientists use the word jets to refer to narrow bands of wind in the atmosphere, like Earth's jet streams.
Okay. So I guess they're using the remnants of Shoemaker-Levy 9 to look at how fast the stratosphere is moving. That's cool. That is really fascinating. I thought NASA had been defunded. Did I miss something? Oh no, NASA's still around. That's really fascinating.
Link image. This image shows an artist's impression of winds in Jupiter's stratosphere near the planet's south pole. Jupiter's famous bands of clouds are located in the lower atmosphere, where winds have previously been measured. But tracking winds right above this atmospheric layer, in the stratosphere, is much harder since no clouds exist there. By analyzing the aftermath of a comet collision from the 1990s and using the ALMA telescope, in which ESO is a partner, researchers have been able to reveal incredibly powerful stratospheric winds, with speeds of up to 1,450 kilometers an hour, near Jupiter's poles.
God damn, that is fucking... So, previously, we thought that Neptune had the fastest winds in the solar system, but this would eclipse that. This would eclipse that by almost double. Not quite, but almost double the wind speed of Neptune.
Jupiter's famous bands of clouds are located in the lower credit SO/. The most spectacular result is the proof of strong jets, speed of up to 400 meters per second, which are located under the aurorae near the poles, says Cavalier. These wind speeds, equivalent to about 1,450 kilometers an hour, are more than twice the maximum storm speeds reached in Jupiter's Great Red Spot and over 3 times the wind speed measured on Earth's strongest tornadoes.
Wow.
Our detection indicates that these jets could behave like a giant vortex with a diameter of up to 4 times that of Earth, and some 900 kilometers in height, explains Quarther Bilal Ben-Mahi, also at the Laboratoire d'Astrophysique de Bordeaux. A vortex of this size would be a unique meteorological beast in our solar system, Cavalier adds. You are currently
4 times the size of Earth and almost 900 kilometers tall. Wow. That is insane. That's almost too big to imagine.
Link image. Jupiter in infrared light, August 2008. Amazing image of Jupiter taken in.
So this is an infrared image of Jupiter.
Amazing image. Credit. Astronomers were aware of strong winds near Jupiter's poles, but much higher up in the atmosphere, hundreds of kilometers above the focus area of the new study, which is published today in the journal Astronomy and Astrophysics. Previous studies predicted that these upper atmosphere winds would decrease in velocity and disappear well before reaching as deep as the stratosphere. The new ALMA data tell us the contrary, says Cavalier, adding that finding these strong stratospheric winds near Jupiter's poles was a real surprise.
I bet it was. This is crazy.
Powerful stratospheric winds near Jupiter's south pole. Group. YouTube. Frame. End up. Powerful YouTube.
Oh, is there
frame.
a video?
YouTube. Link. Photo image of SeaTech Daily. Chrome. Link. Powerful stratospheric winds near Jupiter's south pole. Watch later as blind prep.
How long
Share
is this?
menu pop-up. Play button. Link. Watch on YouTube. End up. Chrome has link. Play button.
Let's see if the video shows up, because there's obviously not going to be any sound, but there's the video of the it's just a 20-second video. But yeah, that's the winds that they've got. That's insane. Oh, it's an artist's animation. That is so cool.
The team used 42 of ALMA's 66 high-precision antennas, located in the Atacama Desert in northern Chile to analyze the hydrogen cyanide molecules that have been moving around in Jupiter's stratosphere since the impact of Shoemaker-Levy 9. The ALMA data allowed them to measure the Doppler shift, tiny changes in the frequency of the radiation emitted by the molecules, caused by the winds in this region of the planet. By measuring this shift, we were able to deduce the speed of the winds much like one could deduce the speed of a passing train by the change in the frequency of the train whistle, explains study co-author Vincent Hu, a planetary
Very
scientist
cool.
at the Southwest Research Institute in the U.S.
They basically used the Doppler effect to determine the wind speed of Jupiter's stratospheric winds. That is so cool.
In addition to the surprising polar winds, the team also used ALMA to confirm the existence of strong stratospheric winds around the planet's equator by directly measuring their speed. Also, for the first time, the jets spotted in this part of the planet have average speeds of about 600 kilometers an hour. You are correct. The ALMA observations required to track stratospheric winds in both the poles and equator of Jupiter took less than 30 minutes of telescope time. The high levels of detail we achieved in this short time really demonstrate the power of the ALMA observations, says Thomas Greathouse, a scientist at the Southwest Research Institute in the U.S. and co-author of the study. It is astounding to me to see the first direct measurement of these winds.
All of that was discovered in 30 minutes of telescope time? Wow. Mind blown.
Animated view of Jupiter showing comet YouTube frame and YouTube frame and
So that's that
animated
story.
View of Jupiter showing comet.
That's that story, and we're gonna finish off with the next story. But yeah, that is so cool. Okay. Here's our last story. Okay. So this article is entitled This story is called What Would Happen If the Earth Stopped Spinning? Bad things. Bad things. The thought experiment reveals just how important our planet's rotation really is. There's actually a show, I think you can find some of the episodes on YouTube. It's called Aftermath. And What Would Happen If the Earth Stopped Spinning is one of them. Here we go.
In the 1951 film The Day the Earth Stood Still, an extraterrestrial named Klaatu and his robot companion Gort stopped nearly all of the electronics on Earth simultaneously, using their advanced alien technology. Cars, factories, television sets and more all cease to work, and the planet settles into an eerie pause.
Klaatu! Barata! Nikto! Anyway.
But what if the movie meant its title more literally? Imagine an alien with a still more powerful tool, one that could actually stop Earth in its tracks and halt our planet's rotation.
Well, then we'd be fucked.
The Day the Earth Stopped Spinning would be a far more destructive movie than the Hollywood original. We may not realize it, but our planet's rotation underlies some of the most basic processes on Earth. Indeed, we probably wouldn't be here if Earth was a stationary planet.
Nope.
Frame 0. Frame 2, heading level 2. Stopping the Earth. Crow, if the Earth stopped spinning all at once, it would be enormously catastrophic for much of the planet's surface. Though we don't feel it, we're all moving along with the planet as it rotates. At the equator, this works out to around link 1,000 miles per hour. Stop the planet suddenly, and everything sitting on top of it would go flying eastward.
Yep.
Imagine people, houses, trees, boulders and more being launched sideways at hundreds of miles an hour. In the aftermath, high-speed winds, still rotating nearly as fast as the planet, would, Chrome has new link, scour the surface clean.
Yeah, it would literally be like stopping a dynamo, and everyone would just go shooting off into the other like.
If the slowdown happened more gradually, the effects would still be dramatic, but would unfold over a longer period of time. The first thing we might notice is that the sun no longer travels across the sky over the course of a day. The apparent motion of the sun comes from Earth's rotation, so if the planet were stationary, it would cause a single day to last half a year long.
Yep.
We could look forward to some very long-lasting sunsets. Without the 24-hour days we're used to, biological circadian rhythms would be thrown entirely out of whack. You are currently linked. Rhythmic cellular processes that tell our bodies when to sleep and when to wake depend in part on regular changes in sunlight to function. Many creatures on Earth, from bees to trees, rely on circadian rhythms to carry out their lives. Changing these cycles could upend normal behavior patterns.
And this is partially why blind people have such trouble with insomnia, because we don't get that chemical, okay, go to sleep, okay, wake up from the sun, right? Because we can't see it. So a lot of blind people are suffering with insomnia because of their circadian rhythm being all fucked up.
Atmospheric patterns on Earth are also link tied to the planet's rotation. You are currently at link. If the planet stopped spinning, it would greatly change the way air currents move. Once the 1,000 miles per hour winds had died down, the wind patterns we see today play a link significant role in driving rainfall and temperatures around the globe. Any changes to air currents could result in deserts blooming where forests currently stand, for example, or frozen tundra becoming habitable. We're already seeing something similar, albeit on a much smaller scale, as climate change link alters global weather patterns. The results could be catastrophic for organisms that depend on specific environments.
Yep.
An Earth with no spin would also mean the end of hurricanes. The massive rotating storms are link created by Coriolis forces that derive from the planet's rotation. Winds pulled into the low-pressure area of a growing storm are spun counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere and clockwise in the southern hemisphere, resulting in the spiraling lines and central eye that define a hurricane. This process is one reason the storms can grow so powerful, so cutting them out might be one of the rare benefits of halting the planet's spin. But a motionless planet would also likely mean the end of our magnetic field. Though scientists are still unclear on the exact mechanisms, it's thought that the magnetic field is created by the current link movements of Earth's liquid metal core. Scientists call this a dynamo, and the end result is a web of invisible magnetic field lines arcing around the planet. The effects of losing that field would be far worse than just no longer being able to navigate by compass. Earth's magnetic field protects us from cosmic rays and
You know, if they want to see something interesting about the Earth spinning of the Earth being a problem, then... Or are we not allowed to talk about that because it's China? Let's see. If you are standing on the equator, you have to remember you're traveling at about 29,000 miles an hour. So yeah, that would suck. Yeah, it really would.
Link. Electromagnetic storms. From the sun, among other things. It's definitely something we'd want to hang on to. Heading level 2. The planets of eternal day. From the heading level 2. The planets of eternal day. As far as we know, there aren't any planets out there that don't rotate at all. The processes that form planets and other celestial bodies naturally result in rotation, meaning that all worlds spin from the outset. But there are some planets that appear. Link. As far as we know, there aren't any planets out there that don't rotate at all. The processes that form planets and other celestial bodies naturally result in rotation, meaning that all worlds spin from the outset. But there are some planets that appear to not rotate, something astronomers refer to as link. Tidal locking.
Yep.
Period. These are worlds that show the same face to their star at all times, resulting in permanent night and day sides. Link. Gravitational interactions between planets and their stars can gradually slow a planet's rotation rate down until it exactly matches its orbital period. Chrome has
Oh, okay.
The moon is a good example of tidal locking. We only see one side of the moon, no matter where it is in the sky or what phase it's in, because it's tidally locked to the Earth. The same situation likely occurs on many exoplanets, especially those close to their stars where the gravitational pull is stronger.
Yeah.
Though these planets might seem like extreme places, frozen on one side, baked on the other, some scientists have suggested link. Life might still find a way there. Some astronomers think extraterrestrial life could find a happy medium in the twilight zone of tidally locked worlds, near to where day turns to night. Others have theorized that link. Atmospheric circulation might keep some tidally locked worlds tempered all over, if enough heat could be spread around the planet efficiently. Chrome has...
So if we could live in the middle of a tidally locked Earth, or a not spinning Earth, that might be helpful.
Earth isn't likely to ever get tidally locked to the sun. We're too far away for that to happen. And, though our planet's rotation is slowing down ever so slightly. A day gets about 1.7 milliseconds longer every century. Our planet should never stop spinning completely. That's something to be thankful for. End of article.
That's the end of the article. So I just thought it would be cool to take a look at that to finish off the stream. And end the stream on that kind of a thought experiment. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves today, and I enjoyed putting the stream on for you guys. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for Star Trek at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific or Central. We're going to talk about the alien civilizations we wished we could have seen more from. So that's going to be the topic for tomorrow. And be sure to visit the link tree in the description of the stream to get yourself some merch. We really could use the merch purchases or Streamlabs donations this week. We had some mechanical issues in the van, so yeah, if you could please consider buying some merch or sending in a Streamlabs donation or subscribing to the OnlyFans. I need one more subscriber over there before I can go live. So take a gander at the link tree, and I hope you guys had a great time. Have a safe weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow for Star Trek. Bye guys, thanks for watching.